You guys requested it, so I made it happen. Hey everybody, today I filmed a full face tutorial. Everything here, one brand. A lot of you guys have been asking me, can you film a video where you just feature one brand? And I thought long and hard about it, and I chose Revlon. I don't show this brand as much love as I should because I am a fan of Revlon, but I feel like when it comes to tutorials, just those products don't always get featured. So I figured I would give them their own little feature. Now, most of the products that I used on my face today are part of the new 2017 collection. So it's kind of like a 2 for 2. So if you picked up some of their new products or you were thinking about picking up some of their new products, you'll now see what they look like or just a look you can create with them. So I'm hoping that I can inspire you guys or just give you an idea of how these products work. One other note that I want to make mention of, all the brushes that I'm using are also from one singular brand. Unfortunately, I didn't have any Revlon brushes, though I am lusting for them. All the brushes that I'm using are from Royal & Langnickel. I did use a few different sets, but this one is my favorite. This is the oval set. Either way, I am an affiliate with them, and if you'd like to save 10% on any purchase, if you're thinking about purchasing some new brushes, I sincerely think you should check out Royal & Langnickel, and I will be leaving a link below. The promo code is Recycled Stardust. So let's get started with the tutorial. The first product I'm using is my foundation. I didn't have any Revlon primer on hand. I'm not sure why. So I didn't have any primer on hand, so I started just right onto my foundation, and I used the Revlon PhotoReady Airbrushed Effect foundation. Now I'm using the shade 004, which is a nude shade. I really like this foundation and I'm surprised I don't use it more. Medium to full coverage. It's really easy to blend out. It's about a medium wear, meaning that it doesn't feel too thick on your skin, but you do notice you have something on your skin. So this is one of my go-to foundations from the drugstore, and I like that it sets down. You can put a powder on top of it, or you don't need, you can put a powder on top, but you don't really have to. So once I finished using this product, I did a little face sculpting, and I'm using two products from the Revlon PhotoReady Insta-fix range. And the first product I'm using is 140 Nude, and this is a light shade. And I'm gonna use this to bring some brightness to my face. I'm applying it under my eyes because I do have a little bit of dark circles there. I'm also applying it to the center of my nose, my forehead, and also my chin and under where my contour is gonna be. So there's gonna be a lot of light to my face. And on contrast, I'm going to be doing a little bit of contour. And in contrast, I'm doing a little bit of contour, and I'm using shade 190 Caramel. This shade, I like this shade because it's not too harsh, it's not too dark, and I'm able to easily draw the lines on my face, on my nose and on my cheek, right under my cheekbone, to help make my face just look a little bit thinner. These are a little bit thicker formula than the foundation. They're still very easy to blend out, and I'm again using my Mata brush, my Mata prismatic brush. I'm using number 802, and this is going to give a little bit more precision when blending out as opposed to the fuller brush. You're going to get, as opposed to the bigger brush, this brush is a little bit smaller, and you get into those areas like on the sides of the nose and under the eye, and you don't just blend everything together. It's not a mishmash. You can really target areas with this brush. Now, I'm not baking per se, but I am putting a little bit of powder on my problem areas, like I said, under my eye. I'm also applying it underneath my contour just to set it a little bit. And this is the Revlon PhotoReady powder. Like I said, you don't really need powder for this look, but if you want just a little bit more coverage or you want a little bit more setting, you could use this powder. So I'm using the shade 020, which is shade light, and I'm using my Royal & Langnickel multi-purpose powder brush, and this is really just gonna put the right amount of product on my face. It's not gonna bake, it's not gonna layer it on, it's not gonna be cakey. It's just gonna make sure that my foundation is a little bit more opaque, a little bit more full coverage, exactly where I need it. I'm also lightly blending this all over my face just to give a very blended look. I don't want it to just be on the targeted areas and that's it, because it's not gonna look cohesive. So now I'm gonna start my eye look, and I'm using the new Revlon ColorStay Creme eyeshadow, and these really look like the Maybelline 24-hour 24-hour cream shadows that Maybelline used to have. This is what these kind of look like, and this is the shade 715 Espresso. Now I'm using the fluffier side of the Royal Nickel crease and smudge brush, so I'm using the crease side, and I'm just swirling my brush in there just to pick up a decent amount of pigmentation. These creams are very pigmented, but I want to sheer this shade out because this is going to be my transitional shade. So I'm applying this into my crease, but I'm also blending it upwards to my brow and into my eyelid itself. Now for my lid, I'm using the same Royal Nickel brush, except for I'm using the smudge side, applying the Revlon ColorStay shadow in shade 720, and this is chocolate. Now this is a little bit darker, and this is going to be my base for my shimmery shade. So I wanted to go with a little bit of a darker shade, and I just painted this right on my lid. I love that these shadows don't crease. They're very easy to work with. You have enough time to work with them before they set, and then once they set, they don't budge. So I really like that, and I have hooded eyes. So guys, if a hooded eye girl can wear these cream shadows and not experience creasing, you're good. If you have oily eyelids, maybe put a little translucent powder on your eyes before you apply these, but I really don't think you'll need them. Next up, I'm applying my shimmery shade. This is the Revlon ColorStay Creme eyeshadow in shade 730 Praline. And for this, I'm using my Royal Nickel eyeshadow brush. And I'm painting it on my lid right over the darker shade. Now I'm trying not to go too far above the crease because I want this to stay centralized on my lid. If you want to amp up this shade a little bit, you could dip your finger into the pot and just gently tap a little bit on your lid, and you're gonna have even more of a sheen. Now you can skip this step if you want to have a more subtle look or everyday look, but I like to amp up my look just a little bit. In the inner corner of my eye, I decided to highlight with the shade Vanilla, and this is shade 750, and I used the Royal Nickel Smoky Eye Brush. It's a little bit ironic because it's a smoky eye brush, but I loved the dome tip. I love the dome tip. It had just the right size to get right in the inner corner of the eye and just poof a little bit of highlight brightening to the eye. This shade is like a sheer white shade, so it works well. You can apply it under the brow, but I decided to just keep it right to the inner corner of the eye. As for my liner, instead of opting for an eyeliner pen or liquid eyeliner like I typically do, I decided to keep this look just a little bit softer, and I used the Revlon ColorStay 2-in-1 Angled Kajal in the shade 102 Fig. Now this shade is a bit of a deep purple, maybe like a deep mauve is a better way to describe it. It's definitely not gonna scream loud purple, party girl purple. No, it's really gonna go nice with this look because it has a little bit of a brown edge to it. It's kind of like a purpley brown. Now, I applied this close to my waterline, and also I tried to wing it out. This is not perfect for the precision wing. You can always clean up the line later. Now, at the other end of the Kajal, angled Kajal, there is a little blender brush, and I smudged my liner. This is a very smudged, smoky look. So if you want to smudge it, you could smudge it. If you like that precision, you like that crisp line, you could just leave it the way it is. Also, quick little trick is that if you like a more clean line, you could always just take an angled liner brush and rub it along the pencil and just apply it like that, and poof, you have that crisp line. Next up, I applied my mascara, and for my mascara, I used the Revlon Ultimate All-in-One. This is the one with the red cap, and this brush is very, very tiny. So if you have itty bitty baby lashes like I do, you're gonna appreciate this. Now you can see that there's a noticeable difference between the way my lashes look before and then after. If you notice, I look like I don't even have eyelashes before, so for me this is a huge difference. If you already have decently sized eyelashes, this is going to give you nice, long, thicker, fuller lashes, but in a very natural looking way. It's not going to look too over the top. This isn't a drama mascara. This is just an all-in-one. Make your lashes look a little bit better. There's one complaint that I have about this mascara is it's a little bit crumbly. Like, I just wanted to let you guys know that there is a little bit of drying when it comes to this mascara, though I like the initial application. And I'm using the shade black, by the way. For my brows, I'm using Revlon Brow Fantasy by ColorStay, and this is shade 105 Brunette. This is a little bit lighter than my natural brows because I didn't want to go too dark on the brows. I wasn't looking for too much drama. This is kind of like right in between a soft makeup look and a dramatic makeup look, and this product has a pencil on one side and a gel on the other. So I used the pencil side to define my brows, fill in my brows a little bit, just make them look a little bit cleaner, and then I used the gel side to really make it stick, make it set, you know, and just clean up my brow look overall, because it has that little mascara wand, that spoolie wand, that's gonna help get all your hairs going in the right direction. Adds just a little bit more color. So if you need a little more filling in, if your brows have a little bit of sparseness, even if you have thick brows, sometimes there's little areas that, you know, are a little sparse. So this is gonna take care of that. The next product that I'm using is the Revlon PhotoReady Insta-fix highlighting stick, and this is in the shade 210 Gold Light. Now I applied this directly to my cheeks, and it adds a very subtle, dewy highlight look. It's not too overpowering. You're not gonna glow from space. You're just gonna get a slight natural looking glow, and I used the monoprismatic brush from Kajal in number 803 to blend that out. This is even smaller than the other brush that I used for the other Insta-fix, just because I'm only focusing on where my highlight would go, and I'm also applying a little bit to the nose. As you can see, I'm putting my brush right on the stick and then blending it right on my nose to get a little bit of concentration. I don't want this product going everywhere. Next up, I'm applying a little bit of blush, and I'm using the Revlon powder blush in the shade Tickle Pink. I love this shade because it's like a soft corally pink. It has a nice little shift of a slight gold, and this shade can go a little bit too far because it is pigmented. So I suggest, if you want to sheer it out, use a fluffier brush. I'm using the same brush that I used earlier, the Royal and Kajal multi-purpose powder brush, and I'm just being very light with this brush. I'm not trying to go overboard with it, because Tickle Pink, oh, it can go from I look soft and flushed to I'm a fabulous drag queen and I'm going to sing I Will Survive. So there's a very, you know, fine fence there, so you want to be careful. Then I'm going to finish up this look with the Revlon HD, the new gel lipsticks, and this is in the shade HD Twilight 770. It's a deeper purple. You can go with a lighter lipstick if you want to soften up this look, but I decided, since I had the smoky eye and the light cheeks, let's go for a little bit of a bold lip. And I went with this shade. So that completes the look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope this gave you an idea of how some of these new products, like the blush, the shadows, the Kajal, the lipstick, and I think the brow product is slightly new-ish as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Of course, I'm going to be having a review on all of these products, well, the new ones, really soon in a video, so please be sure to check that out. That might actually go live before this one does. So if you see that one, it'll link to this one. If you see this one first, it'll link to that one. They're all connected. If you like this video and you want to see more videos from me, please be sure to subscribe. And when you do subscribe, make sure you hit the bell. This way you can be notified when I post new content. Also feel free to leave me some comments below. I love reading your guys' comments. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and please be sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm Recycled Stardust.